I pressed the button, Zach. I want to do a shout out.
Who are you shouting out?
I would like to shout out ND Sketcher.
ND Sketcher.
ND Sketcher, member of the Discord, fantastic human being, very funny, and achieved some truly hilarious things this week. Quote. Thank you for contacting Bad Dragon customer service. We have received your case. Our agents are available Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. We can take up to 3 business days to receive a reply. One of our agents will get back to you as soon as possible. We hope you have a fantastic day. Zach, someone sent a request to the Bad Dragon Dildo Company for sponsorship on our behalf.
Yes, someone did do this, which is hilarious. I want to point out, I was having a rough day when you gave me this news. I was exhausted. I could not. I was like mentally drained. I could not comprehend in my brain what was happening when you told me about this. And then I laughed hysterically. It was a wonderful moment of joy. It still confuses me a little bit, but man, oh man, do I respect it.
So Zach, if you want to be like ND Sketcher and engage in dumb, ridiculous nonsense with us, you can join the Discord. It's in the description. Also in the description is a nerd poll. We are polling members of the Song of Ice and Fire community on all of the stupid things they believe. If you believe stupid things, go down, fill out the poll. It's going to make for a very funny video.
Yes. We hope that you answer honestly, and if you can't answer honestly, at least answer fun.
Yes. Yeah, because we'll be doing the actual video where we do the actual thing that we want to do with these responses. But then we'll be doing a follow-up video where we go through everyone's very funny responses.
Yes.
And for the people who say I can't believe they don't read the comments, no, that was just you. I just didn't want to respond to your comment. That's to that person who left that comment. I read every single one. And just like every single response to that poll, I have laughed at every single one.
If you have interacted with this channel in any way, we have seen it.
Yes. If you have commented on this channel and you have any uploaded videos, there's a pretty good chance that I've watched some.
Yeah.
Like somebody will subscribe to the channel and then I'll see, oh, they have like 15 subscribers. And then I will go and check out their channel and it'll just be like somebody who gives like banjo lessons. Somebody who gives banjo lessons on the internet, which is just the coolest, nerdiest shit. I love it.
It is just phenomenal, actually.
It's great. I love this stupid shit we do, Zach. It's great. There's so many wonderful, ridiculous people who, for some reason, like, watch our videos and leave very fucking funny comments.
Yeah. Some of my favorite, like, things this month have just been interacting with, like, our community we have here of people who watch our, like, stuff. That Gardic phone game still cracks me up. I want to shout out, I know we shouted out in another video that I never got around to finishing editing, my bad. The Red Fox 201 on our Discord, I forget their name on YouTube, has the 2 best pieces of artwork we've ever received.
Oh also my God, they're so good.
I guess not the only, because like we have that wonderful drawing of me on the floor, which is also incredible. But I had to really shout out the I suppose you can edit them in here, and then it'll just be a repeat when I finally get around to finishing that other Zach, editing intensive video.
I need you to understand that I absolutely will not be editing it.
Okay.
You need to paint a mental picture.
There's 2 wonderful pieces of art in our fan art channel on our Discord, which you should go check out by joining our Discord and go seeing these pieces of art.
Yeah, my editing it in would not do it justice. There would be data lost in the compression process between my downloading it from Discord and then uploading it into Sony Vegas. I can't, right? I can't do it justice. You have to come to the Discord and see it for yourself.
I agree. Yeah, you should definitely go see it now. It is just amazing. I want to shout out everybody who's given artwork or contributed in any way. Like, I cannot stress enough. Like, we have a lot of fun doing this.
I also want to shout out, just to bounce off that, I also want to shout out everyone who participated in the Gardic stream the other day, who drew some of the funniest things I have ever seen. People who had me laughing harder than I've ever laughed in my life just by drawing ridiculous nonsense. The full through line of Goose Bolton keeps running through my brain, and I really like it. And on that happy note, on the happy note of me loving all of the people who, for whatever stupid reason, choose to spend their time watching us talk about stupid shit, on that wonderful note, I have a theory for you.
I am excited for this theory.
And Zach, you may have noticed that the format here is a little bit different. It's arranged slightly unusually, and I'll explain why in just a moment.
It's because you're going to slowly put in the evidence so it takes the shape of loss.
Well, I've been gotten.
Wait, legit?
No, Zach, please explain how the game works while I
Oh, thank God. I thought we were just going to kill the recording right here.
Well, that's it. We all got to go
home. But one might say it may have... I'm not going to make that joke this early in the video. I think everybody knows where that was going, though. So this game works is Tom has a theory. He has all the evidence he's going to use to justify that theory. Rather than tell me the theory straight up and try and sell me on it, he is going to give me all the evidence and see if I can work my way towards his idea. And I will try and get as close as I possibly can with just the evidence I'm given. If at any point I feel like I need more evidence, I can say, Tom, deal me a card. And that is the resources I have available. I can double check things, look things up if I need to, but we try to do it fresh off the dome. But things in there are usually A Song of Ice and Fire quotes, stuff from the A Song of Ice and Fire novels, Fire and Blood, The World of Ice and Fire, stuff like that. But occasionally you get things like Bible quotes and Futurama and other things guiding these theories. So it goes a little bit all over the place.
I was very pleased with that Futurama, by the way. Ooh,
the Futurama poll was great.
Ooh, that looks kind of good, Zach.
It does look kind of good.
Ooh, that fits there very nicely. I have arranged it in this fashion because this is going to be a slightly unusual theory video. Zach, on my list, I have 26 clues.
Jeez, that's expansive.
I believe that may be a record. And I have this many clues, not because I think it will be easier or harder than any of the other ones, but because there's going to be something of a pattern to them.
I was thinking it might be a count, and you're going to be like, how many dragon eggs are still out there, sort of thing, from this one quote.
As a matter of fact, this theory grew from me doing exactly that, from me thinking about doing a dragon egg roundup.
Yeah. Is this going to be the gotta catch 'em all theory?
No, but I like where your head's at. So
good, excellent.
There are going to be things which lead into this. Then there's going to be some things around it, right around here in the center of the screen. And then there's going to be more things that lead out from them. So in reality, this is two theories in one. One about something that happened well before this, and one about something that will happen in the future. Both connected to this quote.
Interesting.
And this, before we start, I think that this is one of my strongest theories I've ever made.
Ooh.
Yes.
I like the confidence.
I think it's real dang good. And at any point there's sort of three sections. There's top, middle, and bottom. If you ever want a specific clue from one of those sections, you can tell me and I'll give it to you.
Okay.
All right, Zach, fire away.
Euron Greyjoy, our boy, everybody's favorite U.S. president, Euron Greyjoy.
Euron's back.
Euron's back.
Top tier character, competitor for best character in the series.
Very much so, and I think interesting in that, like, he brushes up against so many other aspects of A Song of Ice and Fire that are weird. When weird things happen, Euron Greyjoy, like, is at least a footnote. To the point, the stuff that happened way before we even knew about him, like the Warlocks of Karth, are, like, tied into his story. Yes. And, of course, dragon eggs, something weird and not fully explained, weave into his story. Faceless Men, prophecies, the Ghost of Highheart, sees Euron's assassination of Balon.
Ding.
Okay, cool.
You swung real close to it, and then you took half a step away, and then you came back.
Nice.
Yes. This is in the middle. I saw a man without a face on a bridge that swayed and swung. On his shoulder was a drowned crow. And you can go back to being left justified now. Thank you. This theory might get a little crowded. Please become 9-point font. Yes, that's fine. Can we still see that on the recording? Yeah, we can. That'll do.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk about a popular theory here. One that our esteemed colleague, Alt Shift X, I like to pretend that we hang out with every single Song of Ice Fire YouTuber. So Alt Shift X, who we grab a beer with every Thursday. One day he sat us down, because obviously we don't watch his videos because we're friends and we could just talk about it. He said, "Hey, so do you guys think that Euron?" This is what his voice sounds like normally, by the way, just as the accent for the show.
Yeah, I don't know how he got an upstate New York accent, but he fakes his Australian very well, or wherever the fuck.
We were all watching the Bills game, and
no, it's an Albany accent, not Utica.
Yeah, Utica. We were all watching the Bills, and he turned to us and said, "So Zach and Tom from the Interesting Nerd Club, as you're known in public."
And we said, yes, that is us.
Have you thought about the possibility that Euron Greyjoy didn't actually throw away his egg? He gave it to the Faceless Men as payment for killing Balon Greyjoy.
Dang.
And I said, "Well, Alt Shift X, which is your real name that you use in real life at a bar while watching the Bills game, I have thought about that one, and I think it's pretty likely."
Paid. Some fans believe that Euron Greyjoy paid the Faceless Men with we'll say, to kill Balon Greyjoy using a dragon egg as payment.
wonder if I open my drink really close to my microphone, if everybody will be able to hear it.
I'll tell you. Go ahead. There's a very faint pop somewhere off in the background.
Excellent. That was probably it, because it's definitely open.
There it is, Zach. That is actually clues number something and something else.
My favorite numbers. Yes. Truly.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Euron does a lot of weird things and owns a lot of weird things. He owns Dragonbinder, a horn that is dragon associated, although it might not bind dragons. This is another thing. Our good drinking buddy and fellow Bills fan, Alt Shift X, told us at the same conversation during the Bills Chiefs game. He said, hey, what if a Dragonbinder binds people? Because we see it do some weird stuff. We see the horn get blown, and all of a sudden, Euron wins a King's Moot that was basically set up to not elect Euron. In fact, our good friend Preston Jacobs, who we also hang out with all the time, joins us for the Bills games.
We're feuding with Preston Jacobs.
We're feuding with Preston Jacobs. He joins us for the Bills game, but he's actually a Patriots fan. Everybody, assert that loudly. I'm sure he might actually get upset. That's kind of it's kind of a harsh accusation.
Yeah, that is underhanded.
Yes, that is underhanded. Much like the play calling around the Patriots. Anyways, can't escape football.
Another good jokes. Yeah, football season. That's why you come here. You come here for the football references.
George R. Martin writing his blog.
Oh, it's the image of the dripping pipeline. It's a Song of Ice and Fire fans on the bottom and football fans at the end. Zach, talk to me about dragon eggs.
A Song of Ice and Fire is just a gateway drug to caring about football.
Don't talk about football or Drought 25.
So, dragon eggs. Dany has 3 dragon eggs that hatch in a blood sacrifice that may have been referenced in a recently recorded video.
That is very close to a ding.
Dany is given 3 eggs that are quite old. We don't know how long they've been around and where they came from, other than that they have been in Essos, however you want to pronounce it. And she does everything to try and hatch them, puts them on fire, but she is only able to hatch them after burning Mary Mazdur, the corpse-ish, lifeless husk of Khal Drogo, and her dead infant.
You started at the dragon eggs and went forward? Where did she get them?
Her wedding. I forget who gives them to her.
I'll let you dig this one up on your own. Go find it on the internet, Zach. It's going to be a name you recognize. Where's she?
Magister Illyrio.
By Illyrio Mopatis.
Who I thought it was.
And this is your first of the level 3 clues.
Level 3 clues.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So we have beginning, we have a top, middle, and bottom. This is your first of the bottom clues.
And Illyrio has some connections.
He does.
To most of the free cities, actually. He's got connections in Braavos. He lives in Pentos. He I don't believe he is a Bravo. I believe he is Pentashi, but like I think we talked about this before. There's a lot of like interplay and like marriages and relationships between the different free cities, so that doesn't actually mean as much unless like two cities are having an epic feud. But that isn't as big of a deal right now politically in the free cities. Uh, interesting. No, wait. The theory here isn't that Euron intentionally gave the eggs to the Faceless Men knowing they get to Dany, is it?
No.
The theory is not that Euron is using Dany as an incubator for his dragons.
No. 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 No.
Okay.
No.
The way you're laughing when you say no makes me feel like that's part of the theory, is not the whole thing.
No.
Okay, so
that's a ding though. Daenerys is given 3 dragon eggs by Illyrio Mopatis, and I have just drawn
an arrow.
Yes,
showing that. So
this arrow is. I drew this arrow after the fact. You made a free cities connection there.
I would like to give a name to this dragon egg.
Okay.
This dragon egg is called Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, and we are trying to determine where did you come from, where did you go?
Yes.
Ding. Zach, we are playing we are making a lovely little like Indiana Jones dotted arrow map of this dragon egg. Yes, you have identified the game we're playing.
So this egg came from Valyria, right? Because Euron says he went to Valyria.
Euron does say he went to Valyria, yes.
And we have some pretty stunning evidence that might be true. He has Valyrian steel armor.
Yeah, he does.
That plays Simon and Garfunkel music when you press a button on it.
Yeah. It's got like it's got like a nice little surround sound system like right under the shoulder plates.
Yes, it does.
Euron famous for his a fighting style where he strikes his opponent 4 times in rapid succession, and he has his he has his speakers play the Friends theme while he's fighting. So no one told you life was gonna be this way.
This way.
Zach, I think that is a fine thrust, but this egg did not come from Valyria.
This egg didn't come from Valyria?
Oh no.
See, that's the easy answer, right?
Yeah, sure is.
There's almost certainly dragon eggs that survive the doom, right?
One supposes, but this is not that dragon egg. This dragon egg has a very interesting history.
Well, I guess he met Garyon Lannister, who is also the Shrouded Lord, and got it from him. Part of the theory that I was already building in the back of my head is not here. Unless that is still there.
No, it's not. That just made me laugh. That was just a regular.
I had this whole like he goes to Valyria to get the egg, and he has to meet the Shrouded Lord, who is Garyon Lannister, because why not? He's the best lead we have for that, anyways. And the Shrouded Lord's just like, I see you want an egg. You have to pay a price for it. And then Euron actually just like, I don't know, buys him a couple drinks and they hang out. He's like, you know what? You've paid enough. And here, you can take this armor too. It doesn't fit me anymore. I lost a lot of weight from the grayscale.
I like the idea that he just meets the shopkeeper from Resident Evil, like in the ruins of Valyria.
It's more like
What are you buying?
It's like the end of Scott Pilgrim where he meets like the evil version of himself, and like then they just like chat with each other, and it turns out they get along really well.
Yeah, and then you have to stop and wonder, wait, was I the evil one?
I love the implication of that joke because the evil version of himself is just a like nice, relatable guy. But I always thought that, I don't know if that was the message they were going for in that. I think it was just that like even if you let like the dark version of yourself, they would still be you, and you'd have a lot in common.
My God.
Like if I met the dark version of Zach, I'd be like, so Dungeons and Dragons. So
am I the dark version of Tom? An interesting question.
I don't know, like if you met the explicitly evil version of you, I feel like you'd have some disagreements, but at the same time, be like, yeah, but this guy likes long-winded philosophy debates, and also he really likes Song of Ice and Fire. For whatever reason, he says the Danny chapters are the best ones in Marine. Like, are the like really his favorite parts?
Wait, are you saying that the worst version of Tom is just boring?
Uh, I mean that would be like your like greatest failing would be to become boring, right? I
Yes,
think
that is my worst nightmare.
I think it's up there in the nightmare list for me.
Zach, dial in with me here for a moment.
Dialing in off of that tangent.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Say things about Euron Greyjoy.
Euron Greyjoy is a Greyjoy. The Greyjoys are the ruling house of the Iron Islands. We do not sow. Their house words that I have on a flag that is sitting in a box somewhere in this apartment that I haven't hung up yet. Because I'm a big Greyjoy fan. They live that philosophy, or at least they try to, where they pay the iron price as Ironborn do. They get everything they earn in life by fighting for it, by beating somebody else for it, by taking it.
I'm gonna give you a partial ding there. This is not this is like a side ding. Gold or iron. I'll put this over here. This is in the middle section. Probably the bottom of the middle section. It is thematically relevant, but not theory relevant.
Yeah. And like, if you amass a ton of wealth as a Ironborn, there's less shame in, spending money to get what you want, because you're paying with the spoils of paying the iron price. Now, you're more of a badass if you pay for your drinks by murdering the bartender, but nobody begrudges you if you pay the bartender with your murder money.
Yes, the murder hobo.
The murder hobo. Yeah, there's a lot of murder hoboism on the Iron Islands.
Man,
the Iron Islands is where...
You know what would be a fun video? Is taking all of our past D&D characters and putting them into a Song of Ice and Fire houses.
Ooh, yeah, I could. That would be fun.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like your parrot would be Dornish.
But he's a pirate. It's a funny thing. So like he would have a lot of Iron Island things. I don't know. I feel like in a way, he makes the most sense in like the Stormlands, where there's like a strong naval presence. Like that's usually the Iron Fleet fights a lot of important battles outside of Stormlands. It's not exactly near, like Dorne's directly near Stepstones, but it like is a place where a lot of sailing gets done, and that would be like just I don't know, like he's a pirate in like not the like cutthroat sort of way. He's a pirate in that he can navigate the seas. He's got his first mate there who is also good at like getting places quickly. I feel like him bringing stuff between the Free Cities and the Stormlands would be probably more fitting. Everybody in Stormlands just has swag.
I mean, is he a Valeria?
You know what? Yeah, him being like drift, working on Driftmark
Yeah, just
actually
kind
makes
of
the
like
most sense.
swaggering around with Corlys.
And we can confirm from House of the Dragon that House Valerian got that drip.
Oh, dude, and they got like no single set in Game of Thrones has ever made me like lore salivate as much as the Hall of Nine. The
Yeah,
room that I'm sitting in right now literally has a cabinet full of little fucking things that I've collected on my adventures. Like, uh, uh, oh, what can I talk about these? What can I
I
talk about
remember. I
these things since I'm
remember.
leaving?
I remember being there for the destruction of that cabinet.
Oh yes, Zeb still feels bad about that sometimes.
I still laugh about that
Yeah,
sometimes.
me too. It still has the note attached to. There's a cabinet in the corner of the room that I'm sitting in. It is my treasure cabinet. It has all of the things from my adventures, including plaques that say that I won Smash tournaments. A piece of Borderlands 3 promotional art from PAX. A medal from a marathon I ran in, and over the front of it is a little note that says caution out of order because our friend Zeb smashed it with a coat rack.
I wrote that note same day. Yeah, it's like
Oh
we
my
cleaned out all the glass,
god.
and then I just wrote a note that says "caution out of order," and and there it sits.
There it sits. And I like it better this way, to be honest. uh, anyway, Zach, would you like a card?
Let me futz around a little bit more here. Is that
Sure.
are you still allowed to say futz around?
Uh,
Is that
in the comments below, please give us an argument of 500 words or more about why the phrase futz around should or should not be acceptable in modern American parlance. I trust you.
yeah? I'm worried like someone's going to tell me like the futz people have suffered unendlessly for like 2,000 years. I'm like, oh god, I didn't even know. So I'm so sorry. I
Zach
did
hit the
not.
button. Zach hit the button.
What's wrong with that joke?
Look, I'm hitting the button. I'm a little preemptive with this button push, okay? But we're hitting it anyway.
Hold on, let me go look at to make sure I'm not horribly demeaning a group of people. Hold on. The definition of futz. Oh, is to waste time. We're good. We're in the clear. Oh,
Zach, did you
it's too
plan
much.
that?
No.
My God, that was funny.
That was like a whole comedy bit I accidentally worked
Oh,
myself into, where I convinced myself there was something problematic with saying futz.
oh my
And then it
God.
turns out there isn't. It just means wasting
Oh
time,
my
meaning I
God.
wasted everybody's time going on that tangent.
Oh my God, that was so funny. And you know what made it even funnier?
What?
When you explained it. That was really.
Yes. Hey guys, Peter Griffin here. Uh,
My God, I'm gonna die.
for those who didn't get the joke is
Zach, please futz around with Euron Greyjoy.
Euron
We're
Greyjoy
looking for Euron Greyjoy's
is
history.
so there's several Greyjoys born to Balon's father. I think Balon's father was like Quellan Greyjoy or something like
I
that.
believe you're correct, yes.
He had many a kid,
He,
but only four are living at the beginning of uh, the Song of Ice and Fire novels. Balon, Euron, Victarion, and Aeron are the living ones. I believe in that order of birth. And Balon inherits. I believe a couple of them die. I believe one of them dies playing the finger dance, which is like the knife game, sort of, in terms
it's
of
you ready for what the fucking finger dance is? You
yeah.
take a hand axe and you throw it at another motherfucker, and they have to catch it by the blade.
Yeah.
which is
It's
fucking
different. It's
dumb.
different. Yes, it's different in how it functions, but it is very similar to the knife game. And if you
Yeah.
shouldn't do it, you will lose fingers.
Wow.
And that straight up kills one of the Greyjoy brothers, if I recall
I
correctly.
think you're right. I'm also reminded of a Malcolm in the Middle bit where the one Malcolm's older brother, but not the older brother, gets a job at a sawmill, and he says they even gave me a new nickname, Ten Fingers. The guy who had it before me wasn't using it anymore, which is a good joke.
That is a very good joke. That is
Zach,
incredibly. Oh,
the the family history of Euron Greyjoy is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for personal history more.
so Euron Greyjoy, like his brothers, fought in Robert's rebellion on the side of Robert. Then Balon took over, and Euron caused a lot of trouble. So let's talk about what got Euron exiled, because he is not gone by choice. He is gone because he got kicked out. So he was there during the Greyjoy Rebellion. He actually fought with Balon during the Greyjoy Rebellion. He had this plan to go and burn down the Lannister fleet at Lannisport, which I believe was a success. Like they just straight up
Yeah, I think that
burned the
they
entire.
destroyed the entire Lannister fleet.
Yeah, which must have really pissed off Tywin Lannister. By the way, never really thought about like how that would have been like reacted to at the time. That must have been horrifying. It must have made it seem like the Greyjoy Rebellion had a serious chance of winning, and it must have royally, royally pissed off the Lannisters. Uh, so Euron is banished for having relations with Victarion's salt wife. We're not quite sure whether those were
Oh yeah,
consensual or not, or
yeah.
whether it happened or not. There's a
So
lot of ambiguity there.
it's all a little fuzzy, but none of it's good.
It's all a little fuzzy, but none of it's good. What's also worse is I believe Victarion then killed the Salt Wife afterwards. Uh,
Yes, because he has
yeah,
some sort of real fucky kind of pride.
yeah, exactly. Which is well, if there's one way to describe Victarion, it'd be dumber than a sack of rocks. There's a second way to describe Victarion Greyjoy is has a really fucky sense of pride, which is usually a bad combination. Uh, so Victarion very much not a fan of Euron. Actually, every Greyjoy not a fan of Victarion, or of Euron Greyjoy. Victarion,
As a matter of fact,
in,
everyone not a fan of Euron.
yes, Victarion people get along with sometimes. Aeron people just like that's my weird religious uncle, but he's all right. Euron is nobody's favorite family member. Uh, So he got on his. Yeah, he has bastards, by the way. That's something I see on the Wiki of Ice and Fire that we never talk about here.
Ooh,
Uh,
I did not know this, but that is interesting.
he does have many a bastard, apparently. His ship is called the Silence,
Ah,
and
yes.
it is gone all over the known world. He has that wonderful quote where he is the godliest man because he makes everybody pray all over the world for safety. Um, and he boasts to have gone through Valeria, to have gone to Ashai, to have owned a dragon egg, which is the crux of this theory. And it says
Yeah.
right here a Mirish wizard was unable to hatch. What? I don't remember this.
Yes. Yes. He had a dragon's egg. He told a Mirish wizard to hatch it. Said you can have a year, but the wizard was kept on giving excuses, and so I think he threw them both overboard or something.
Interesting.
Yes. Zach, by the way, you've said everything about Euron Greyjoy except the thing that would get you a ding.
He has a crow's eye?
He has a crow's eye. He's called the crow's eye.
He has a magic eye of some sort.
He does seem to have a magic eye. He wears an eye patch and gives the appearance of being blind in one eye.
He might be a skin changer at some point. He has a near-death experience, potentially. May have met the three-eyed crow.
There's the ding! There we go! We got all the way around. Many fans believe Euron Greyjoy to be a failed student of Bloodraven.
That makes sense. If he traveled the whole world, he could have gone north of the wall.
Yes, he had that dream as a child that he could fly. And many people think that he got part of the way through Bloodraven's training, that he had his third eye partially opened, and is now wreaking havoc through the world.
I can believe that.
He said, like, I have a certain amount of future sight and knowledge of the arcane arts. Why would I spend time trying to stop the White Walkers when I can fuck off and take over the Ashes?
Yeah, I could see that for sure. It kind of makes me think maybe, to get more conspiratorial, maybe he isn't a failed student of Bloodraven. Maybe he's doing exactly what he's intended to do.
Ooh, that's an interesting way to take it.
Because it seems like, if I had to guess, there's a Bloodraven thread to pull on here.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Because if anybody were to have owned a dragon egg at one point, Bloodraven would be a strong contender of people we know who are still alive, and I should say that with like 15 quotation marks for Bloodraven in the story right now. It's possible that when Bloodraven went to the wall, he took a dragon egg with him. After all, there's speculation that he took Dark Sister.
Okay. George R.R. Martin has confirmed that Bloodraven took Dark Sister to the wall.
Oh yeah, he did confirm that, didn't he?
He did. He confirmed it at a con.
A little bit different.
This is like somewhere up here, yeah. This is sort of supporting. Zach, did you read the Dunk and Egg novellas?
I started on the first one and never got around to finishing.
There might be a couple pieces that might be tough in here if you haven't read them all. Can you tell me about the third Dunk and Egg novella?
The first one, that's a good question. The second one, the first one is the one where Baylor Breakspear dies, and there's Trial of the Seven, I think.
With Arion Brightflame, yep.
And the second one is a
it's just like the second one is just like a character piece.
So that's the mystery knight, right?
No, the second one is the Sworn Sword. That's the one where not really much happens.
All right. Oh, so the third one's the mystery knight.
Correct.
That's the second Blackfyre rebellion, which, I mean, isn't much of a rebellion. Contains a Blackfyre, though. Can't deny that part.
The second Blackfyre rebellion takes place at White Walls. Can you tell me anything about the second Blackfyre rebellion, Zach?
The second Blackfyre rebellion. It was so there was a great spring sickness that happened before the second Blackfyre rebellion, which led to the death of a bunch of hostages from the families that engaged in the first Blackfyre rebellion, which made it politically attainable for a Blackfyre rising to happen again. And so, if I recall, I have not read the novel, but I believe the name is John the Fiddler, going off of the last time I remember researching this, is actually Daemon 2 Blackfyre, I believe, who is going around and gathering resources for a rebellion when he gets caught by the detective duo of Dunk and Egg.
God, those books are funny. They're the funniest thing that George Martin's ever written.
Egg is quite the hard-boiled detective.
Oh, fuck you. As one of my favorite parts is Sir Duncan throws a motherfucker into a well, and you could call it a dunk tank.
Dunk tank.
So what's Daemon II's plan?
No? It's a very good question.
Yeah. You're right, he's there, he's gathering support. What's taking place at White Walls at the time?
I don't remember. Is there an attorney or something? I don't know.
Yeah. During the tourney at White Walls. Yeah, we'll just add that to this one up here. Takes place at White Walls during the tourney at White Walls. Oh, that says Toruni.
Good old Toruni.
Toruni. Daemon Blackfyre II is here with the Lord of White Walls, whose name is Lord Butterwell. Do you remember, or can you find what Lord Butterwell?
Brain rot. Everything about it was great. Butterwell.
that had a dead body in it. Her well was a dunk tank. Do you remember what Lord Butterwell's contribution to the rebellion was?
No, I don't.
Lord Butterwell at the tourney at White Walls, Lord Butterwell named his dragon egg the prize.
Oh, that's the egg.
We gonna put that right here. Right over here. Because the plan was, and then we'll say, Daemon II Blackfyre planned to rig the tournament so that he would win the dragon egg, appearing to have been destined to do so. Right, that's the whole shtick.
It's theater. It's political theater.
Exactly. Yes.
If we want to, like, the Blackfyre's lost last time around. The country's been through a lot with the kingdom's been through a lot with the Great Summer Sickness, or Great Spring Sickness rather. Uh, Trying to make the claim that we need a war for this person is going to require some extraordinary, like, supporting evidence, right? The dragon egg would be would go a long way towards making that conflict justified in some people's eyes.
Yes. And like, it's a good plan, but there's a couple of drawbacks. Number one,
Yeah.
Dunk and Egg kind of stumbled headfirst into it. And number two, there was another notable player in the mix at the time. Do you know who it was?
No, I don't.
The egg from the tourney at White Walls was stolen by a group of players employed by Bloodraven. Shoot.
Interesting.
So we ask ourselves, where did the egg go?
Well,
Ooh.
it went from Lord Butterwell to Bloodraven, who held on to it because, hey, free dragon egg.
I
You never know
mean,
when this is going to.
you gonna
Best
toss it?
case, worst case scenario, it's just a cool thing I have with a fun story behind it. Best case scenario, it hatches.
Yeah, I got a fucking
And
dragon.
then I have a dragon. Like it's either the world's coolest paperweight or a dragon.
I'm going to. This is not relevant necessarily. This is not super relevant, but it is a cool piece. Lord Butterwell's dragon egg was given to him by Aegon the Fourth Targaryen. It was red with golden flecks and black whorls. Is Dragon F. This is also sort of off to the side. So, a little additive. So, this is Bloodraven's father's egg. And I find that very interesting.
Yeah.
Zach, and I'm sure that relatively easily you can connect me from here to here.
Yeah. Bloodraven could have handed it off to, like, Euron. If he's staying in that cave, that egg would just would have been sitting there. He presumably, when he wanders off, which we discussed how weird it is they did that in the first place, but he probably had good reasons in his mind to go seek the old gods and become one with the tree. It would have made sense if he took the egg with him.
I agree. And this, I think, is lampshaded in part by this over here, right?
Yes.
So, follow the egg with me. The egg is at White Walls. The egg is stolen by Bloodraven. Bloodraven, who we know has a history of taking, let's say, Targaryen heirlooms to get fucking lost in the woods, takes the egg with him. And then, I had always thought that when people said Euron was a student of Bloodraven, I thought they meant in the sense that Bran was a student of Bloodraven before he got to the cave. Like, he had the dreams, he had the crow dreams, he had the dream he could fly, and he unlocked some of those powers. Zach, what if he literally trained in the Three-Eyed Crow's cave?
Oh, he did like a Rocky training montage there where Bran is currently learning?
Yes, what if he was there first? I mean, Bloodraven's been up there for fucking 50 years. What if Euron literally trained with Bloodraven and did the same things that Bran is doing now? And what if, when he got fucking bored, when he decided that he didn't want to be a savior, when he didn't want to sacrifice his sense of self, like Bran does in the Bad Dragon show, Euron doesn't want to sacrifice his sense of self for the greater good. He instead fucks off and takes the dragon egg with him.
Thanks for the training, old man. I have my own vision of the future.
Zach, that sounded actually pretty badass. I think you meant that as a joke, but it sounded awesome.
I'm putting myself in the headspace of Euron Greyjoy so I can solve the rest of this theory, right?
So, the dragon egg has gotten to the present. And then we move it to here. This probably shouldn't be here, but that's fine. This is thematically. We'll actually do one of these. This is thematically related, like this is, but not necessarily textually related.
Sorry, repeat that.
This over here, right here.
Yeah.
Is thematically related, not necessarily textually related. So I've removed that arrow.
Okay, so it's not that Dany literally has one of those eggs. Although that would be like a amazing Bloodraven plan that he needs Euron to betray him, so Euron can take the egg, so he can throw it, so he can sell it to the Faceless Men, so Illyrio can then get it from his connections with the Faceless Men, so that Dany can have 3 dragons, so the dragon can have 3 heads.
That's amazing, but not where I'm going.
That would be some next level, I don't know if I've referenced 40k here yet, but one of the Chaos Gods is Zeech, and like his followers are known for doing like seemingly like insane things. Seems like the wrong decision, then it like works out for them, which is usually followed by somebody saying just as planned, which leads to Chaos players occasionally making really stupid moves to see if they work out, and when they do, they say just as planned. My brother does this a lot.
Is that why I say just as planned sometimes?
You may have picked it up from me and my brother in college, saying it all the time.
That's incredible. Just as planned.
Yes, whenever something clearly worked out through luck and you go just as planned, that may be vestigial from when I played a lot of 40k.
So Zach, I think we've gotten everything, not literally everything, but everything relevant before this line.
All right.
And this here, this like little like set of connections we've made here, this is the first of the 2 theories. That this dragon egg from the 3rd Duncan Egg novella is this dragon egg. Because we can draw a direct path of possession from the tourney at White Walls to Euron Greyjoy. If we assume, as most of us do, that Euron Greyjoy has this connection to the Three-Eyed Crow, we can draw that connection directly. It also adds a layer of like personal connection between Bloodraven and Euron Greyjoy, that Bloodraven and he were together for some meaningful length of time, and Euron stole one of his prized possessions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That changes the dynamic a lot.
It does. Instead of him being a failed student, he is now a betrayer.
Yes.
So, I would like, now that we finished this bit, I would like to toss you one. Another one of thematic appropriateness.
Go for it.
There are heavy themes of symbols of legitimacy as symbols of legitimacy and power in A Song of Ice and Fire.
I know what this theory is.
Zach, would you like to solve the puzzle? Hold on.
When you mentioned this,
Hold on. Boop, boop, boop. What's at the end of the arrow?
there's an extra sentence here that I want you to go underline with the Lord Bedalus dragon eggs. It was red with gold flecks and black wolves.
Doot. Red. Hold on. Red and black.
Those are Blackfyre colors, baby.
And gold.
We're also Targaryen colors, but
yeah, but this isn't Targaryen colors. This here, no, this is not Targaryen colors.
It's the Golden Company.
Oh, hold on, that's a ding. That's a ding before you say the end of the theory. I wanna ding it. Hold on.
I'm gonna hit every step along the way as I get to the.
Yeah.
Illyrio Mopatis has been shown to acquire dragon eggs with possible he has connections with the Free Cities, which may or may not include connections with Faceless Men, but he only really needs to be connected to somebody who's connected to somebody who's connected to Faceless Men to end up with a dragon egg if they know he's a prominent buyer. He constantly gives gifts to young Griff for whatever reason.
Pause. That's a ding. When Illyrio delivers Tyrion to Griff, he says he has a gift for young Griff.
A lot of people presume that to be the sword itself, but
that is a reasonable assumption for sure.
But it could be more than one gift. He's been giving gifts to him like his whole life, we think. He has all those kids' clothes and stuff like that. It could just be that Illyrio is young Griff's father, as they often speculate.
Yep.
But that gift could be the dragon egg. It could be that Illyrio has this dragon egg that originally belonged to Lord Butterwell that ended up in the possession of Bloodraven, that was stolen by Euron Greyjoy, that was traded in for a hit on his brother, that was then sold to Illyrio, who has it waiting to give to young Griff to hint at his legitimacy, which is what it was originally intended to do anyways. And because this is one of your theories, Tom, what if it hatched?
What if it hatched, Zach?
What if there's another Dance of the Dragons?
The Golden Company is now the Golden Company with young Griff have invaded the Stormlands. And I'm gonna what was Daemon Blackfyre often called? What was his nickname?
Daemon Blackfyre wasn't he the Dragon Knight or?
No, I think that was a different Daemon. I think. Daemon
the Black Dragon
that is another one, but I'm going is often called the King
bore the sword.
Yeah.
That's what they call him over on that one meme subreddit that I'm getting to, like, I don't know, Dark Wings, Dank Memes or something like that.
It is fun. It is fun over there.
Yes.
Let's see, what else do I have in here? Illyrio Mopatis has a history of giving people dragon eggs.
Yeah.
The institutions of Braavos. So we gotta get from here. We gotta get from here to here, right? To down here rather. To do that, these 3 dragon eggs. Yeah. Well, and we'll go ahead and write it in. Alyssa Farman sells 3 dragon eggs to the Iron Bank of Braavos. And this can go like, will you please? And this can go like right in here, right? This is not relevant to this theory, but this 3 dragon eggs ended up at the Iron Bank of Braavos, and then 3 dragon eggs ended up in the hands of Illyrio Mopatis, and then 3 dragon eggs ended up in the hands of Daenerys.
Yeah.
Many fans draw a connection between
The Iron Bank of Braavos and the Faceless Men.
Exactly.
We talked about this before in our Faceless Woman theory.
Excellent theory, by the way.
Thank you. That Braavos has connections to a lot of different ways you can destabilize different realms. The Faceless Men or assassination. Sometimes you can destabilize a place by having somebody die at the right time or the wrong time. And the Iron Bank of Braavos is actively engaging on making the war in Westeros worse by backing certain people financially. And if you believe their connections to there being many brothels, Braavos might be connections to a spy network in Westeros. There's some evidence towards that. Essentially, Braavos might be doing some CIA-esque shenanigans across the world. And that fits perfectly with them, having a market for rare things.
It sure does. To make things even more complicated, we're stepping near the additional tinfoil line. Some fans suspect that Euron Greyjoy may have an active working relationship with the Faceless Men.
Ooh.
And by some fans, I of course mean me.
Yeah, but there's textual evidence, as
There
we
is.
often.
That is in the Sorella Greyjoy video, but the fact that it's in the Sorella Greyjoy video doesn't mean it's not worthwhile.
That's true.
Euron is the only person in the whole series that we have seen, actually hire a Faceless Man. So I have speculated that the Faceless Man who is in the Citadel right now is not searching for the death of dragons for the Faceless Men, but rather is searching for the death of dragons at the behest of Euron Greyjoy. If they are doing that together, what if the repositioning of this dragon egg is also intentional? What if Euron Greyjoy wants young Griff to have the dragon egg?
This is where the Kraken weds the dragon, maybe? Or at least he wants another dragon out there to wed more Krakens?
Could be. Maybe he wants that maybe he can't hatch that dragon egg, because we saw that. We talked about that. He tried to get it to hatch, but he couldn't. Maybe
he needs somebody with Targaryen blood.
Maybe
and the Blackfyre should be good enough.
Yeah. Maybe he thinks he can get it to hatch if he gets it in the hand of Daemon Blackfyre the Sixth.
So it's not Dany is the incubator for Euron's egg. It's young Griff is the incubator for Euron's dragon egg.
Hell,
what actually makes this is where the Bad Dragon show actually had some legitimacy to this. What Euron does in the show is he shows up to King's Landing and basically comes up with a plan to supplant everybody and makes himself the puppet master of everything going on there.
Ooh.
And we can like tie this in with the Red Door theory here. There's a ongoing conflict between Dany and young Griff when she returns, or who's the correct leader. This Aegon is not a real Targaryen, and then Varys comes out and says, "Actually, you're not a real Targaryen." Drops Mike and also your mom's crown.
Oh man, that's
And
also a very good theory, by the way.
thank you. And desperate for support because he does not have dragons to fight this war with, he tries to hatch his egg. Some guy shows up saying, "Hey, I'm an expert on hatching dragon eggs." He helps him out with some blood sacrifices. The egg does hatch, and then
he blows the dragonbinder horn.
yes, then he blows the dragonbinder horn and gets the dragon on his side and runs off with a rather young dragon, but they grow up pretty quick. So, and he also has magic and things he could use to try and make it grow faster.
And
So
also krakens he can use to, I don't know, do a
merge with it.
Yu-Gi-Oh fusion with it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You could do all kinds of weird shit when you got a dragon.
Yeah. And then like that leaves like he does whatever like political scheming necessary to get out of there, probably puts the forces of Aegon at a serious disposition by sacrificing a bunch of people, possibly causing some like fire damage, murdering some folks who try and stop him and running off with the dragon. And then the supporters, Aegon and his supporters, find themselves at a weakness and need to bail, and then go to the Kingswood. Yeah, this all actually kind of works really well together.
It kind of tracks, right?
Yeah.
So you ready? I'm actually really proud of this. I think it, like, not only does it work, I think it is also reasonably likely.
We at a certain point with all the theories we're coming up with, we could write our own version of Wins. That would probably be a very good book.
No, the word you're looking for is entertaining, not good.
I feel it would be satisfying compared to what else we have to fill the void, right? Like it would certainly be better than the Bad Dragon show by an incalculable amount.
That's very true. So, Zach, here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Lord Butterwell, sometime before the events of the Mystery Night, receives a dragon egg from Aegon IV Targaryen. It is red with golden flecks and black whorls. That egg is given up as a tournament prize at the tourney of White Walls, but it is during the Second Blackfyre Rebellion, but it is stolen by Bloodraven. Bloodraven, who we know has a tendency to take Bloodraven, who I should say, we know is already textually stated, metatextually stated, to take things beyond the wall, then goes beyond the wall. And we know that he trained with Euron. Euron steals the dragon egg. Euron then, at some point in the future of that, states that he once had a dragon egg that he threw into the sea. Many fans speculate that Euron Greyjoy paid with that dragon egg to the Faceless Men. The Faceless Men have a strong connection to the Iron Bank, and we know that the Iron Bank, somewhere between the Iron Bank and Illyrio Mopatis, gifted him, somehow they got him 3 dragon eggs, which he then gave to Daenerys. And the last time we saw Illyrio, he said he had a gift for young Griff. I think that is the same dragon egg from the 3rd Duncan Egg novella.
That's entirely believable.
I think it's a pretty good theory, Zach.
I agree. I think that's a solid thing.
Like unironically, I think it's pretty good. Like, especially because the story of Daemon the Second and the story of Aegon the Sixth feel they have so many parallels. Like this would be the sixth Blackfyre rebellion, right?
Yeah, and it would be one that came under a false name.
Yep.
Which is the second Blackfyre rebellion is the only other time that happened, I believe. The other ones are just straight up like, hey, the Blackfyres are back, baby.
Yeah. The egg, as you stated, has Blackfyre colors. The gold, and like there's a lampshade to the Golden Company, which is not involved in the Blackfyre rebellion, the second Blackfyre rebellion. I mean,
yeah.
I kind of love it. Are you ready for a complication?
Yes.
I have a complication.
Give me the complication.
Tycho Nestoris is a Braavosi banker who has been fucking running all around the Seven Kingdoms trying to collect debts from Cersei, Stannis, and he just made a deal with Jon. I was not originally barking up the young Griff tree. I was originally barking up the Jon tree.
Ooh.
Suggesting that maybe this representative of the Iron Bank of Braavos has that dragon's egg with him and is going to either already has or in the future will give it to Jon. But that's some real tinfoil.
I could see it, but the chain of custody is not as good.
I agree.
Like, if you were trying to convince me that, it would be a harder sell. This one, like, I can't say for sure this is the chain of custody. This is where I went through. This is how I got here. But if you were to tell me, if there was to be a dragon egg that shows up in the possession of young Griff, you've convinced me this is where that dragon egg came from and how it got there.
Right. Like, we know that there was a dragon egg in the possession of Euron Greyjoy. And we know that there was a dragon egg in the possession of Bloodraven, and we know that those two knew each other.
Or it's very likely that they met up at one point. Yes.
You're right. We speculate that those two have a strong connection. It is unclear whether that connection is just mental or if they were ever in the same place. There is no way to know. However, yes. The more I've been thinking about it, the more I suspect that they were in the same place because Greyjoy's
Bloodraven very much wants Bran to be there in person.
Yes, exactly.
So if you are the person he's like training to be the savior, like you got to go there.
Yeah, and like if Euron dipped out on his training before he even got to Bloodraven's cave, it seems unlikely that he would be as, let's use the phrase, magically advanced as he is. Right? He really, he doesn't seem to be magic, but he has such an extraordinary knowledge of how old gods' magic seems to work that I would be very surprised if he didn't see Bloodraven. Yes. Something that I think is lampshaded by his saying, "I have sailed all over the world."
Yes, and his mentioning of all the gods, like he must be familiar with the old gods. They're very nearby.
Now, Zach, could this be a different dragon egg? Like, could this one? I'm sorry. Could this one and this one be different dragon eggs? I'm sorry.
There's potentially 3 different dragon eggs here.
For sure, there absolutely could be.
Potentially 4 if young Griff does get one, then that's just an entirely separate dragon egg, and they're more common than we think. However, we're very much led to believe they're not more common than we think. Yes. We're very much led to believe they are just as rare as we think, if not rarer.
Yes. And on top of all of that, that's not the way George Martin likes to do things. Like,
the reason we don't have the books finished is because he's still plotting things. They pay off later.
You were the person who initially said, I bet every Robert Baratheon bastard is listed in the books.
It seems like something George would do.
And as soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God, that's totally something he would do. You're absolutely right. This is totally... Could he have 4 random separate dragon eggs? Sure. Like, there's actually no textual reason not to. But he loves this kind of shit. He loves leaving through lines of things that happened fucking 100 years before these events. I think...
And if there was no great mystery around where that egg came from, Euron would have told the story, right?
Yes.
Like if he just grabbed it from Valyria, he would say, "When I was in Valyria, I found this egg,
yes,
but I realized I was never going to hatch it, so I threw it in the sea."
But I think that this egg is plot significant. And one more thing that helps is that A Dance with Dragons was published in 2011, and The Mystery Knight was published in 2010, meaning he was writing them at the same time.
Oh, you're totally right.
Right, and that means that Tyrion and the whole young Griff plotline and The Mystery Knight and that whole fucking plotline, he was writing at the same time. And we know that the Tyrion chapters were the last pieces of Dance that he wrote. The famous Myrrhine is not. I think that this is the case. I don't know what level of confidence I would give it, but it's pretty high. I like it a lot. And if this isn't the case, it is only going to be because it is replaced by some other cool through line that we haven't thought of yet.
I agree. I agree that, yeah. George R. R. Martin, I mean, he literally says, like, I plant seeds and I see where they go. Like, I'm a gardener. He calls himself all the time in his writing style. There's no way he, gives Greyjoy, like, a throwaway line about a dragon egg and doesn't think, like, let me do my George voice. Now, where did he get that egg from? That's something I'm wondering about. Yeah. And then I start to think back to where there were a lot more dragon eggs, and it takes you back to the Blackfyre rebellions.
Now, first off, Zach, let me once again commend your George R. R. Martin voice. Second off, it could also be the case. Many people suspect that the gift that Illyrio has for him is the sword Blackfyre.
Yes.
And I think that is totally reasonable. However, if that's the sword Blackfyre, you then have to tell me where the fuck this is. You need to tell me what this is. What is this dragon egg and where is it going? Because that dragon egg is not nothing. That's for goddamn sure.
Like I said, it could always be both.
That absolutely, it sure could be. Yep.
If you want to give some legitimacy to, Aegon, if he comes back with a Targaryen sword in a dragon egg and says, like, hey, Targaryens are back. We're the rightful rulers. There's just a massive war here that shows why the Baratheons, who are actually Lannisters, who are allied with the Tyrells, are purely doing this to enrich themselves. You remember the good old days of, well, maybe you don't, but things were cool before the Mad King. I am not mad. I am going to be a good king. And, like, with all that legitimacy, some lords probably, like, all the old Targaryen loyalist factions, besides the Tyrells, obviously, because they have a lot to lose, and all the people really just kind of miffed with the with the Lannisters,
Cersei,
with Cersei, probably start saying, you know what?
Actually, yeah. I kind of miss the dragons.
Yeah, like, worst case scenario, the egg catches and you have one dragon to enforce the law with, but like we know how bad Cersei is. And yeah, Dorne's already backing him, so like that's going to add some legitimacy when Dorne declares for him. And hell, with the Free Cities connections, maybe our boy Littlefinger will see the pragmatic value in backing young Griff.
Ooh, Zach, that's kind of baller. That's kind of fucking baller.
He sees all the Braavosi and Free Cities merchants lined up and says, "Okay, well, this is where the money is. I've already gotten my war between the Starks and Lannisters that I wanted. I might as well go with the winning side and get even more power."
Zach, I think the name of this video is... I think it's just Euron's Dragon Egg.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and it doesn't spoil anything, but chef's kiss. Is it evocative?
It is very evocative. It does not spoil anything. It's right where it starts, but man, oh man, is it central to the theory there?
Yeah. All right, Zach.
There's a theory about Euron's Dragon Egg.
Yeah.
At least at one point.
I mean, I kind of like it. Do you kind of like it?
I do very much like it. This is a very good theory.
Cool.
This is one of the best ones this channel's ever had, for sure.
I think this might be the best one that I've ever come up with. It's very good. Zach, I mean, I think that's our show. Is that our show?
I think so. I think that's our show.
Zach, thank you very much for joining me on this silly thing. And if anyone's still watching, thank you very much for joining me as well. Please write the name of the please write down what Euron would name his black and red dragon in the comments below if you've gotten this far.
Please do. Please do that immediately.
Maybe it'll be something sick like Leviathan.
Leviathan sounds good.
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot of like death-ish inspired things.
Like Hades.
Reaper.
Reaper's actually very good. Am I remembering correctly that the Greyjoy seat is the Lord Reaper of Pike? That's the Greyjoy title.
Yes, the Grand Reaver.
Yeah. Zach, if anyone wants to fill out the nerd poll or join the Discord, they absolutely they absolutely should, for sure. But that aside, thank you everyone for watching. I think that's our show.
I think that's our show. Yeah, thanks everybody. We love the support. We really appreciate it. And we will see you in the next video with another crazy theory. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe.
Yeah, hit the
bell.
Hit the bell icon. There is a person in my room with a gun saying this, and if you don't hit the bell icon, they will murder me.
Yes,
it's very high stakes.
I've been informed that there is a bus full of people who've unsubscribed that have been kidnapped by an unknown group, who's to say, and that their living or dying depends on you hitting the bell.
In Minecraft.
And whichever one you want it to be, that's what'll happen.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. In Roblox.
In Roblox. Yes.
I've placed no, I hit the button. No, never mind.
I'm thinking of like the ending of The Dark Knight, where there's like the two boats that like the one can blow up the other.
Oh my god, Zach, goodbye.
Goodbye.